Beyond Words. Learn English with a podcast. Have you ever looked at your jobs and thought, what am I even doing with my life? Are you feeling stuck, tired, or uninspired? You're not alone. Welcome to Beyond Words, where we learn English and life together. Today's episode is for anyone who feels lost in their career path. Let's talk. Let's grow. Let's be honest. Waking up every day to do something you don't love isn't just exhausting, it's quietly devastating. At first, you tell yourself it's normal. Everyone gets tired. Just be grateful. You have a job. Maybe next month will be better. But days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And you begin to feel numb. You wake up, not with excitement, but with resistance. You drag your feet. You force a smile. You do your tasks, not out of passion, but out of obligation. And slowly, without realizing it, you start losing pieces of yourself. You stop dreaming. You stop imagining what if. You stop believing that better is even possible. You shrink your goals just to fit the reality you're trapped in. You silence your curiosity to avoid disappointment. You tell yourself, this is just life. But deep down, you know you're not okay. I'm emotionally drained. It's like I'm stuck in a loop. And then there's social media. As if your own thoughts weren't loud enough, you're constantly fed images of others winning at life. They're traveling the world. They're buying homes. They're launching brands, building dreams, glowing with success. And there you are, sitting at your desk, staring at a screen, wondering when it will be your turn. You scroll past another post. So proud of my journey. Trust the process. From nothing to CEO. You want to feel happy for them, and part of you does. But the other part whispers, what about me? Why am I still stuck? Is there something wrong with me? And that quiet whisper grows louder. You question your worth. You question your timing. You question your ability to dream again. But here's what they don't post. They don't show the confusion, the months of doubt, the tears in the shower, the nights they almost gave up. So don't believe for a second that you're behind. You're just in a season that no one likes to talk about. The in-between. The space between where you are and where you're meant to be. And maybe, just maybe, this stuck feeling isn't a dead end. It's a signal, a nudge, a sacred pause before your next chapter begins. Feeling stuck doesn't mean you failed. It just means you've outgrown something. And that is not the end. It's the beginning of your next chapter. Maybe your heart is trying to whisper, there's more for you than this. You were made for something deeper, something freer, something truer. And even if you don't know what that more is yet, you owe it to yourself to start looking. But how do you begin when everything feels heavy? Start with stillness. Start with honesty. Ask yourself, what do I need? Not what others expect of you. Then ask, what would it look like if I honored that need? You don't have to chase a dramatic reinvention. Sometimes healing begins with the smallest yes. Yes to rest. Yes to curiosity. Yes to learning a new word, a new thought, a new version of you. Start small. Start real. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't need to figure it all out today. But you do need to stop ignoring yourself. Ask yourself, what part of my day gives me energy? What did I used to love doing before life got in the way? What would I try if I wasn't so afraid to fail? You see, we grow up thinking we have to pick one path and stick to it forever. But the truth is, you can pivot. You can evolve. You can rebuild. Let me say it clearly. You are allowed to want more. More growth, more freedom, more meaning. That doesn't make you selfish. That makes you alive. Learn as you go. One of the best ways to move forward is to keep learning. You're already here, listening to a podcast that teaches you not just English, but emotional vocabulary, words that help you express what you feel inside. Start using this moment of uncertainty as a time to expand yourself. Learn a new word each day. Write down your thoughts in English, even just one sentence a day. Watch videos on topics that spark your curiosity. Every small action rewires your mind to believe again. Every new word you learn is a tool to express your truth. Even when you feel unsure, learning helps you reconnect with your own rhythm. It reminds you that your brain still works, your mind still seeks, and your heart still beats for something more. This isn't about becoming fluent overnight, it's about becoming free, one sentence at a time. Real steps you can take here are 4 small steps that can open new doors. Reconnect with curiosity. Take a course, attend a workshop, explore something that excites you, even if it's not useful. Sometimes your joy knows the way forward before your mind does. Redefine success. Not everyone's goal is to be the boss or to be rich. Maybe your version of success is peace, freedom, purpose. And that's okay, because success isn't one size fits all. It isn't always loud, visible, or measurable. Sometimes success is getting out of bed when everything inside you says, stay. Sometimes it's choosing authenticity over approval. Sometimes it's doing less, but feeling more. You don't have to chase someone else's dream. You don't need to prove your worth through titles or trophies. You get to define success in a language only your heart understands, and that too is valid. Build slow courage. Talk to someone. Update your resume. Say yes to something small but new. Take one brave step, even if it's tiny. Bravery isn't about leaping. It's about leaning forward when you're scared. It's about trying, failing, and trying again. Courage is built slowly, like muscles, and every time you choose to show up, despite fear, you grow stronger. Remember, courage isn't loud. It's a quiet voice that says, I'll try again tomorrow. Be kind to yourself. You're just tired, and tired people need rest, not shame. Stop measuring your worth by your productivity. You are more than your output. You're allowed to pause, to breathe, to simply exist. Being kind to yourself isn't weakness. It's an act of quiet rebellion in a world that praises burnout. And finally, don't do this journey alone. Talk to people who understand. Surround yourself with content that lifts you up. Join a community that reminds you you're not stuck, you're becoming. Let yourself be seen, even in the messy middle. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when your truth is held with gentleness. So seek spaces where your growth is safe, not just celebrated, but understood. Take the pressure off yourself. This is not a race. It's a realignment. You are not late. There is no deadline on becoming. You are just becoming who you really are, without the noise. Let go of timelines that were never yours. Let go of the pressure to catch up. You're exactly where your next chapter begins. This is a season, not a sentence. This is a pause, not a punishment. And your story? It's not over. Even the most beautiful stories have chapters that feel slow, silent, or unclear. But they still belong. And so do you. When one door closes, another opens. But here's the truth. Sometimes you have to build your own door, brick by brick, word by word, even if your hands are shaking, even if your voice is trembling, even if you're scared, and even when your life feels silent, your growth is still speaking. This isn't just about learning English, it's about finding the words for what you feel and the strength to move forward. Because when you can name your pain, you can begin to heal it. And when you can speak your truth, you start to reclaim your power. Because sometimes learning the right word can remind you who you really are. Until next time. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep becoming. This is Beyond Words.